The coach here, welcoming you to another installment of Madden Ultimate Team. There's been a lot of talk leading up to this matchup, and it's finally here. But can it live up to all the hype?
Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Back to throw. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to get this out to the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They'll start here with Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run again with Jackson. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now Brown on 3rd down. Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Brown. This complete to David Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Back to throw. Brown. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. McPherson on for the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
Let's go now. 60 Vikings. 60 Vikings.
Throwing after the interception. Brown throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to...
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic, and as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. They'll begin the drive. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost. Touchdown! Calvin Johnson, 27 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles, but they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
47 Mike.
Off play action. Brown. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Kiko Alonso leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That punt returns 69 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it is 42-0. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Operating from the gun. Brown. He finds his man. Complete. That's Gonzalez. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gonzalez. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Here's Brown throwing on 1st down. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Steeler legend Troy Polamalu with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just past the 35. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Looking deep now for McCoy. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LeSean McCoy, 64 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the world.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the 15, a short. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing off.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline, or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe, but I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Now Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That punt returned 69 yards. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. His big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Brown. He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
From the 6.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. The 40. The 20. He will score. Touchdown, Eagles. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Brown now throwing to start the drive. And that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. They run on 1st down with Jackson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Guess who made the tackle? Yes, Reggie White. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. Brown. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Brown to throw on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Deion Sanders. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 53 yards. And the Eagles just continue to roll. And McPherson on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to... Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So
now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you... Like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And, that's one he's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds.
Not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Ready, go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now Brown on 3rd down. Now Brown, oh, he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that what?
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They run with Jackson out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Gonzalez. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name.
And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on third down. Brown, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you...
And now here is another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want the shutout preserved.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He'll dump this to Bo. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they bring their punter out there now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. That one looks like he'll throw here. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
McPherson on for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Kickoff concludes the ball game, partner, and one side a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the